Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Today's episode is a real talk episode. And what I mean by a real talk episode is I'm talking directly to people that need help right now, that are really going through it. Your back's against the wall. Maybe your finances aren't where they need to be. Maybe your pipeline is not where it needs to be. And I'm here to tell you that there is a solution, okay? The first step is you have to put yourself out there. You have to tune into content. You have to put your hand up and ask for help. You cannot do this alone, okay? We are in a very challenging market. This is a fact. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to put a little whipped cream on it and make it look like a donut. But what I will tell you is that there is a way to be able to play games and tricks and strategies and hacks in order to really keep yourself in a strong mental focus. That is the game that we play. We have to figure out, even when we get kicked, even when we get punched, how do you go ahead and show up the next day ready to play, ready to win, and ready to keep on executing? This is a game of execution. This is also a game of how do I continue to move the ball down the field. If you guys have listened to the show before, you know we've made a lot of analogies about sports. I believe that we are playing one big sport. And for me, the sport that I'm playing is financial freedom. And as I get further and further down the field, I feel that it's my duty to be able to share this back with the listeners, especially for the people that are going through the real beginning challenges. I know that the market's crazy, interest rates are high, inflation, blah, 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 right? And it's okay to have a rough day. It's okay to have a rough weekend. It's okay to feel like you don't want to do this, right? You don't want to prospect. You don't want to call your past clients. What I'm here to tell you guys is I'm going to give you permission to stay there for a day, stay there for a half a day, stay there for an hour. But you can't stay there for the whole damn market. You have to be in a position to have a short memory. The thing that I find about most people that are highly successful in business, especially in real estate, is they have a very short memory. Do you know why they have a very short memory? I will tell you why. They have a very short memory because they know that if they gave up, there's so many people that are counting on them. Their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, their visions, they would all go by the wayside if you just threw in the towel, right? It's very easy to be able to blame things like the interest rates, the president, your cousin Jojo who listed their property with the next door neighbor who just got their real estate license. So I want to share with you tips, hacks, and strategies for how to get out of a funk, how to shake it off, how to keep going. And I will tell you guys with full transparency that I've been in crazy situations where my back is against the wall. I've put myself in, debt that's been up to my eyeballs, where my wife and I have asked ourselves, like, whoa, like maybe we should reevaluate here. We've got a financial coach in the past. That was actually pre-COVID, I believe. It was one of the best things that we ever did. We bought a dry cleaning business. Pretty much, I would say 2 weeks or a month after buying a dry cleaning business, we realized we didn't want a dry cleaning business. We've been in a situation where I launched a brokerage right before all the rates went sky high and went to 8%. So I will tell you, I'm not just coming from a position where all I do is win or all I have done is win. There's the valleys, there's the ups and downs. What I will tell you is when you're playing the long game and you're not just playing the daily game, the weekly game, the monthly game, life and business tends to get a lot easier. The only difference is the people that stay in are the people that are really going to benefit from a market like what we're currently in now. So here's the first tip that I want to give you guys, okay? You have to give yourself permission. You have to give yourself permission that it's okay to have a mental health day if you need it. It's okay to say, you know what? Today's just not the day. I'm just going home, right? Maybe you lost a couple of deals. Maybe somebody didn't get back to you that you thought you were going to get a big deal, big listing from. Maybe you lost a bid that you really thought that was going to be locked up. Maybe you lost a business opportunity. It's okay to give yourself that grace, right? Life is really about grace. It's about not being so hard on yourself and not feeling like everything is the end of the world. I will tell you guys, I went through many experiences throughout my life of being in a situation where I would just observe other people's reaction to things. And I would observe the way that people acted. And I would observe the way that people kind of took information and really held on to it or really took things way too personally. What I found from taking a step back is that many of those people are not living in a state of joy. I choose to try to live in a state of joy as much as humanly possible. And what I find is by doing that, the ups and the downs are able to be really navigated with so much more ease and grace than if every single problem or every single challenge that came up, you're ready to go to level 12. Now, I will tell you, there are times when you do need to step it up. You do need to get a little bit more aggressive. But if you're constantly up and down and up and down and you're not level, you're not cruising like you're on a ship, you're actually like in the speedboat just hitting the waves and going flying. Life is going to be very stressful and you're probably going to die young. And I say that, with some humor, but I really do mean that because stress kills. We are in a world, we're in a business where we have all this opportunity at our fingertips, okay? We're going to live so much longer than generations before us. We have to figure out a way to make this more of a game and make this more of an enjoyable game. The next one is I want you to really connect with your reason on why you are doing this. The reason why I really stress this is because when you get the bad news, when you get the crazy email, when you get the client that loved you and now they hate you, I've had a few of those. And what I will say is that by connecting with the reason, it puts you in a situation to still be able to remain stoic. Stoicism is something that I try to read about. I try to listen to as much as possible. I really look up to the people that follow Stoicism at the highest level. And what I can tell you is the common denominator from at least my findings are peace. And I think that the reason that people get to a point of peace is because they know why they're doing the things that they're doing. So for me, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this to retire young. I'm doing this to retire in a tropical location and live the best years of my life. I'm doing this because I want to help a lot of people. The only way that you can help a lot of people is to make a lot of money, okay? And not just make money to have flashy things, but to make money to be able to make that decision to where my kids want to go to school, the food that we eat, the things that we're able to experience, the places we're able to go, the experience we're able to share with others. All of these things are what really drives me and lights me up. So those days where I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, it's another Monday. Like Mondays are just brutal right now. But what I do is I try to reframe that and I try to find the gratitude in that I get to experience this Monday because thank God I have 8 or 9 appointments or 8 or 9 critical things on my calendar instead of dreading it. And the reason for that is because I have my why and my reason for why I'm doing all this crazy stuff called business and life. The third thing is, and I think this is the most impactful piece of advice that I can give you. Imagine this. Imagine if you are the guy that's in that little picture. He has the little pickaxe. He's hammering on the mountain, and right behind it is the field of diamonds. And imagine if you just went another week, if you just went another quarter, if you just went one more year to absolute breakthrough, but instead you decided to give up. And I'm going to let that sit for a minute because I really want a lot of you to think about that. And I want you to please share this podcast with people who are considering giving up, who are considering throwing in the towel, who have let the negative thoughts become their self-belief, and they are a full believer that the world sucks, the economy sucks, real estate sucks, everything sucks. All this stuff may suck in some way, shape, or form, and it may be challenging, but how you deal with it is everything. You are your reality. And the way that you perceive the feelings and the emotions that you have around these things are the way that you're going to experience life. So just imagine if you gave it one more week, if you gave it one more month, if you gave it one more year, or if you gave it one more decade. When I start to think about what's going to happen over the course of the next decade and the different ventures that I'm involved in and the different people that I'm surrounding myself and choosing to partner and get in business with, I, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what the next decade is going to look like. So the message is really don't give up too soon, okay? It's okay to put your hand up and ask for help. It's okay to hire a coach. It's okay to ask somebody, hey, I'm going through a rough time. Can I bounce some ideas off you? I was just on a call with a lady a little while ago. Have a lot of respect for her in business. Um, we're going to be doing some things in the upcoming future, and we talked openly about debt and finances and how she could get business credit. And I have X in the account. Should I make this investment? Should I wait? Should I pull back? What should I do? If you're not having those conversations, and the only conversation that's happening is between your ears, you are setting yourself up to do some crazy things like I did in the beginning of my business journey because I didn't ask for help enough. And I put myself in some really wild situations. And if I had only come up to ask for help instead of feeling like I got this or I know what I'm doing, whether it was ego combined with a little bit of arrogance or just too much energy in feeling like no matter what I couldn't lose, I think I'd be further along. And I'm not saying that with regret. I'm saying that because I want to pay it forward to the people that are going through situations like that now. One thing that really just rings true, and I feel like I want to talk about this for a second, is the people that know it's time to start a team. The solo agents that are doing very well in this current market or have the momentum, but they're too afraid, they're too timid to take on the responsibility for somebody else, or they're too timid or too afraid to hire an assistant, or God forbid, at least hire a virtual assistant to take the first step into building an actual company. Because I have a news flash for you guys, okay? This may not be a very popular comment or statement, but I will tell you, I don't think that solo real estate practitioners have a business. A business and a definition of a business is if you were not there, how would that business function? Would it continue to function? Would the cash flow continue to come in? Would the expenses be paid? Is there an opportunity for a future buyout, sell-off, partnership, etc.? So I'm not saying this to rock the boat or to make you feel like, we're putting down solo operators. That is not the game here. But what I'm telling you is to have a business that thrives and eventually you have a business where you can get out of it or you can actually do this thing called retire and God forbid retire early or go away for a month at a time or maybe do a summer in Barcelona, right? You have to put systems, structures, you have to build a team, you have to build a company, or you have to have different revenue streams. And I can't wait in upcoming podcasts, we're going to talk more and more about building out additional income streams, something that's so passionate and near and dear to my heart, because I feel like once you start to plant the seeds, I started planting the seeds probably, if you count rental properties, going on about 15 years ago. and then everything started to snowball, and now it's really snowballing. And just because I took those first steps, even when the cash flow wasn't exciting or I felt like this is going to take forever, we're playing a long game. So I really want to talk to the people that have not started that journey yet and are in a situation where they're sitting on cash maybe, or they're being too comfortable, they're playing scared, or they're playing too safe. It's time to step up in this current market, because I promise you, and I'm going to keep reminding you, there is incredible opportunity coming on the other side of the market that we're currently in. And do not live in a state of regret. I don't want you guys to live in a state of what if. What if I had just taken this advice? What if I had just made another investment? What if I had bought that beach house that I can Airbnb when I'm not there? Or what if I bought that Florida property that would also be a vacation home, but I'm going to make money on it? Or, this is a big sin for many individual real estate operators, what if instead of putting that sign in the ground, I asked the seller if I could buy the property? And they actually said yes. And I made 100 grand, right? It's the little things that start to put you in a situation of a snowball effect. And that's how you start to build momentum in your life and in your business. And I love momentum. You should love momentum. You should adopt momentum. You should cherish momentum, because once you have momentum and then you start to fix habits, you start to put things in place, your morning routine is dialed in, your lead generation, your prospecting, you get to a place where you are unstoppable, and then you're dangerous. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this was valuable for anybody. Please share it with anybody that you know that's really going through it, that's thinking of quitting. Have them reach out to me. I'm happy to get on a call with them. And as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Till next time.